And just like that, we live once again. Pretty late, but we're here, so that's all that matters. Shout out to everybody that's gonna watch this in the playback.
Hey, big shout out to everybody that's gonna watch this on the playback. But
Yes, yes.
okay, shout out to the two people that are here already.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you
Appreciate
for being
you.
here on this good motherfucking Saturday. I'm not
Good
really sure about this
Saturday.
already, but welcome to Key and Carry, where we key.
And we carry.
I'm Troy,
I'm Damon.
and we are back. Okay, with another review for you guys. Chasing Dallas season 4, Quattro,
Mm-hmm.
the reunion, part 1. I wish I knew another language so I could start giving the intros and
Different languages.
and
Come on,
be
Rosetta
very
Stone.
aggressive about it, but it'd be just casual. So people will think I'm like going off on it. Anyway, Chasing Dallas season 4, the
Aggressive
reunion.
yet casual. That's the running theme, especially with this reunion. Yes. I'm here
Yeah,
for
there
it.
was nothing casual about this goddamn reunion. But yawn audience, shout out to the people that are here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let us know. Um, let me run that back because YouTube be on some fuck shit. So for those who are subscribed and you are getting if you aren't getting or receiving our notifications or any notifications from where we go live, make sure you click that bell button so that you are in
Mm-hmm.
the know, so that you can see
Right.
these faces, when we post
Yes.
content. But y'all, let's get into it. Also, let us know in the comments how y'all felt about this reunion, Chasing
Yes.
Dallas. Please drop comments in the below, and we'll definitely pin them, shout you guys out, and keep the conversation flowing. But yawn, Chasing Dallas,
Chasing
thoughts,
Dallas.
reunion.
My thoughts. Okay, so my general thoughts. Season 4, part 1. Um, I thought it was okay. I mean, I did live for some of the arguments, and I did live for some of them. Like when they got to like the serious topics, I did like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the arguments, or both of the arguments, because it was just two like main arguments that they had. Actually, more so three. They kind of lasted a little too long. I kind of feel, especially the George and Ted Lee one. Like it was funny, like at first, but like as they kept dragging it on, it was like, okay, we get it. Um, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, honestly, I kind of enjoyed it a little more than the whole season. I'm not gonna lie. But I know this season is well liked, so don't shoot me. It's just my opinion. But yeah, I thought the reunion was okay. I mean, I'm glad Markel is doing it. I think Markel did a really good job for this first part. I mean, obviously we'll see with the second part, but I really enjoyed him for this reunion. I think he asked a lot of good questions and he was really good at de-escalating situations. Like he would I didn't say he wasn't messy. I just said that he was good at de-escalating situations he was good at getting people to stop arguing, if that makes sense. Like when he wanted them to stop, they stopped. So I like that. Maybe that has to do with him being the producer of the show. But yeah, I thought he did a really good job. I'm not even gonna lie. What did you think of the
Okay.
reunion? General thoughts.
General thoughts. This is kind of just chaos. A lot of yelling. I feel like this union really didn't resolve anything. I felt a lot of
Hmm.
the conversations that were had were just rehashed comments or literally
Did
the
you
same
think
arguments they had the entire season.
did you think any of them came to resolve any issues though?
No.
Like that's what I'm like. I don't think any of them even came to resolve anything. I think they all just came because they were. What didn't somebody even say it? They were contracted to? Somebody was like, "Why are you here?" And they were like,
Yeah.
"We're contracted to be here." I was like, "Well, damn, okay." Like,
Yeah.
not forced
This
against your will to be here. Like,
reunion just was not. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the reunion. Just the
mhm.
energy, the atmosphere. Just watching Kesey at this reunion, like just watching his demeanor and just how he was just watching everything going on, I was like, this is kind of embarrassing. No shade, because I love the
It
Chasing
is.
franchise, but watching somebody like Kesey just be like, and I felt like honestly, Kesey had the most to offer this season, and everybody kind of just overtook the reunion with just like yelling, and so it was just a
Yeah.
big mess for me. As much as
Did you
I,
peep?
as much as I love and respect, Markel, shout out to Mr. Logan. Looking
Mhm.
forward to Love Is a Friend season 3. But
Yes,
as much
still
as
waiting
I,
on that.
really respect Markel, I feel like he kind of dropped the ball as like a host because I feel like he was playing
Hmm.
favorites and kind of letting people over talk and just the way he was coming at certain people about certain stuff, it was like, favorites is kind of showing, but I just wasn't feeling this reunion. Just this wasn't chasing compared to like chasing, and I don't want to keep going like back or compare this season to like other franchises, but the last season of Chasing Atlanta, that reunion, I felt like that was like a reunion. Of course, there was yelling, but there was like actual communication and like a little bit of like resolution when it came to like conflict. So like this was just like this season, Chasing Dogs, it was just a lot. I kind of was.
I got you. Okay. Shout out to Blue Devil Babe that's in the building. Thank you for being here once again, lovely.
Blue Devil Babe
appreciate is in the building. Yes. Thank you for everybody that's watching right now. But yeah, to agree or to respond to what you were saying, I agree. I mean, I feel like Markel was a good host in the sense that he was very playful and funny. Like he was taking his little shots at people. I'm not gonna lie, I screamed when Jeff was like, "Am I giving Nikki?" He was like, "No." I was like, "Oh." I was like, oh, and then he was like, fashion show with no fashions, talking about Keyshawn. I was like, or no, fashion blog with no fashions. I was like, oh, here we go.
Markel was kind of, not Markel, but they were kind of letting Jet Jeff have it this reunion.
They were.
I feel kind of bad for the Peruvian princess, but we'll get to that later.
Not the Peruvian princess. But yeah, I agree with what you had to say. I thought it was good for what it was. Like I think the reunion or the season to me is no secret. Like I didn't really care for it as much as I could have. I feel like it had potential, but it just wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. But the reunion, I think I just took it for what it was because I knew nobody was gonna like walk away with like an understanding. Like Dallas is not really the franchise to get like an understanding. Like people just like beef until they just don't care anymore, So but yeah, let's get right on into it. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Let us know your thoughts on the reunion, your general thoughts, or any other thoughts you have. Put them in the chat. We'll definitely highlight them. But yeah, so we're just gonna go by person. For some reason I feel like that was gonna be easier. But yeah, so for I guess the first person, I can't even remember the first person that was introduced, but let's just go with Keyshawn. Keyshawn was a big part of this reunion. What did you think of Keyshawn? And his what was the fit? The fit was
giving American Horror Story Roanoke just a little bit. It was giving a Pilgrim team.
No shame, but it was kind of giving like Swamp Monster tees. Like it was giving like Lagoon tees. Like you about to come up from the swamp. Like I was like, okay, I'm not mad at it. But
it was the Jetsons / like a Swamp Monster tee. Like the Poison Ivy, but it ain't poison.
Okay, but it's not poison. Okay, Poison Ivy, no ointment. Got you.
But Keyshawn, I feel like Keyshawn was only there to beef with Dre. That was Keyshawn. Literally, the only reason Keyshawn was a part of the season was just to argue like with Dre. It showed at this reunion, like he just went in an argument with DeAndre so bad, and that's crazy because I feel like there were other people who kind of like threw shit at him or throughout the season, and he was just kind of fixated on Dre. So it had me wondering, like, did y'all concoct this?
Don't even go there. Oh, okay.
Not. Well, that's also possible. That's also a possibility. That's also a possibility. But yeah, Keyshawn just really didn't do much for me like this season, especially like with him saying like, he's like a fashion blogger. And when I think of blogs, I think of Tumblr. Rest in peace to Tumblr. Okay, baby.
Tumblr's still active. I'm still on there.
You're right.
I'm still on there.
You're absolutely right. I'm thinking of the other version of Tumblr. My bad. Anyway, but I was just expecting more from Keyshawn. So
I agree, and I did peep that shade. Markel, if you ever watched this, he said, "Do you think that he said the fans started living for him after he read Dre?" And he was like, "Does that concern you, or do you feel a way about that?" And he was like, "Yeah," but I'm like, I mean, Keyshawn, you didn't give us anything outside of, like you said, going back and forth with Dre.
Yeah,
and I feel like, I mean, as much as Dre is kind of a stunt queen, I feel like Keyshawn used that as a way to like you know, as a way to like get attention and as a storyline, honestly, because like he said, people didn't really see it for him until he started
Mhm.
reading, and he was reading and getting Dre together. But I feel like what else outside of that? Like, what else are you bringing outside of that? Besides that damn that damn video instead of a fashion blog. I was like, no shade, but what is this giving? Because I don't know what you're selling me.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I agree. He wasn't really giving much in terms of chasing. He was reading down, but outside of that, you know, I don't know. And then he wanted to keep saying, like, oh, our time was wasted, our money was wasted. But I'm like, Keyshawn, you brought people to this winery with no with no blog.
Exactly.
Like, if that's not a waste of time, I don't know what it
Exactly.
is. No shade. And I like Keyshawn, but it's just like, let's be
He
real.
contradicts
Like,
himself a lot. Like
yes.
he's
Yes.
uptight about like I guess the whole crew bar or crew lounge situation, whatever. But I'm like, you were kicked out, so why would you come back to the venue and then be tight about having to pay for a bill? Like
Because he had
you
to
were asked to
pay.
leave. So
I'm like, well, yeah, shouldn't have came back. But
yeah, he kind of just it was just a lot. He was just kind of one of those people, or one of the people who was doing like a lot at the reunion for me. So his fit was it was
fitting. Another Missy Elliott reference. Y'all gonna put some respect on Missy Elliott's name, okay? An icon, a legend. Well, legends are dead, right? An icon, an innovator. Yes.
She's legendary.
Legendary,
Missy Elliott,
yes.
baby.
She really is. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put that on her name.
Legend,
but
okay.
but yeah, the second time somebody came for Missy Elliott. But
you know, it's these it's the younger gays. Let me say it's supposed to be the gays who are like older 20, but they portray to be early 20s. We ain't gonna talk about that though, because you know that's happening. That's becoming a norm in this web series reality.
Oh,
people saying they're 27 and they're actually 32. Like, you know what? I'm digressing. I'm rabbit holing. Chasing reality.
Let me highlight a couple comments. Let's get away from that.
My bad.
Hey, Kevin. Oh yeah. Thank you for coming back. I remember your name. Thanks for being here, Kevin Reynolds. I think this is about Keyshawn may need to exit stage left. I do like Keyshawn because his reads are funny. Like the little bitty watch comment was hilarious. What else did he say? He said a couple things. Something about putting something on somebody's face, which gagged me. I was like, oh my God. Jesus, I hope nobody's grandmama is watching this. Like, Jesus, this is very very grotesque. But anyway, he did keep his foot on DeAndre's neck, and I feel like it was warranted. But I just wanted him to show more stuff. But hey, Magic User, thank you for being here.
Yes,
good to see you. Yes, welcome back. I already agree. Yes, about Keyshawn. Not the bad side of Tumblr. Yes, the demon time side of Tumblr. Hey, I'm ready to talk about TT Lee. Hey, TJ, naturally. Yes, we will talk about TT Lee. TT Lee and TT Georgina.
Yes. I'm looking for that profile photo.
Yes, serving.
I'm with the serving face, yes.
Wait, he talks about dead grandmothers, so he wouldn't care. Haha. True. I was like, this is so unnecessary. That's how I knew. Like, I mean, I knew before that he wanted a moment out of DeAndre, but I'm like, once you bring up somebody's grandma, I'm like, is it really that serious? Like, who cares? Like, but yeah.
I wonder if they scripted that. I mean, it's brought up later about
I could see that
some storylines being alleged, but once that was brought up, I was like, I wonder how many of these beefs are orchestrated. Because you can only like really beef with somebody for so long and keep giving them so much of your energy before it's just like you either want to fuck them or you just obsessed at this point.
Well, to me, like, and we talk about Bad Boys Club. Check out our Bad Boys Club review for Gemini Films if you haven't already. But we talk about how that show is kind of more organic, and it's like, you know, maybe because they all get put in the house together, and it's like they, you know, I don't know. It just seems more organic versus like the beginning of this season. People are sitting down, just met this person, and they already being shady, like in the scene to the person. I'm like, that's what we doing. Like, I wouldn't do that if I was, you know, trying to network and like get my name out there. But hey, to each his own. But it just seemed a little unrealistic to me. So I could see it being some things being scripted. But yeah, so that's Keyshawn. Of course, let us know any thoughts that y'all had about Keyshawn in the chat. We'll go back and read them. But somebody mentioned TT Lee, TJ Naturally. We about to get right on into TT Lee.
I'm sorry, I have to stop cracking like that. Baby, that's that damn hyena laugh. I'm so sorry to the audience. I'm sorry.
TT Lee. I screamed when they said he said something about his like his makeup routine or like how he do his eyebrows. And he was like, yeah, it's just a light little, you know, a little shave here, a little shave there. I was like, that's a shave? Baby, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Them eyebrows is honestly, I feel like Lon D did not need to protect. I don't think Lon D needed to protect Ted Lee because I feel like his eyebrows was already doing it. Like I feel like his eyebrows already had his back.
You know, I live in like brows because you know I have full brows. But
you have full brows. Those brows are more than full, baby. Those are some plus size brows, no shade. Like, but yes, Ted Lee. But yes, I live for Ted Lee, his eyebrows. But yeah, Ted Lee is. I feel like Ted Lee really showed. He was really starting to like show not who he was, but I feel like we finally started to get a rise out of him because I feel like the whole season people were coming for him and he was just kind of like whatever. But something about George, just whatever they went through gets under his skin because he was talking about going outside and all of this extra stuff. I was like,
Ted Lee not. He might have had one of his niggas out there waiting for George. That's probably what that was.
There we go. What Nikki say? Oh, my niggas outside, out back, baby. Like, like for real.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was.
But yeah,
George versus Ted Lee.
It was funny, and it started off slow. It kind of dragged because like they just kept saying shit. People were saying in the comments you can tell that something actually happened between them because just how they were arguing and like the things that they were saying. I'm still kind of annoyed that we don't know what happened, and like I don't know if you're new here. Like I'm the type of person where if you bring something to the show, I don't need to know every single detail, but like I need to know what the cause of the issue is. If you bring some drama to the show, I need to know who was involved and why the drama went the way it went. I don't like when people bring stuff to a show and then be like, well, we can't talk about it because somebody else is involved, or we can't talk about it because, and it's like, well, why bring it to the show? Like, because I'm just like, well, why are they arguing? Are we never gonna find out? Like, I don't know. But yeah, that just kind of annoys me. But yeah, Ted Lee, he was quiet. I don't remember what he was wearing, which is crazy because I feel like I always notate what TT Lee is wearing, but I don't know. I couldn't remember what he was wearing. But let me know in the comments if y'all lived for
the Catwoman gloves.
He did have on gloves. I do remember that.
Catwoman gloves.
Yes, because he kept pointing. When he was pointing, I was like, look. They should have been fingerless. They should have been fingerless.
I feel like Ted Lee is like a couple. Keyshawn is fingerless gloves. Ted Lee is Catwoman.
Yeah,
no shade.
Ted Lee is the like gloves with the nails at the end, like on his Cruella DeVille shit. Like the acrylics at the end, the leather gloves with the acrylics on the ends, on the outside of the glove.
That's Ted Lee.
Definitely giving that.
Yes.
Live for Ted Lee.
Oh my goodness.
But
I also screamed when George asked Ted Lee, like, what you gonna do to me outside? And George Lee was like, roll your ass in the casket. Now shut the fuck up. I said, my goodness.
I was like, this is a different side of TT Lee.
Right?
Like, damn.
He was clearing the fuck out of George. George was like so mad. And people in the comments was like, is it more than like just friendship? Because this reunion has got me asking, like, who had this season or previous to them filming?
You need a diagram like they did on Jersey Shore. Like,
Jersey
who had who? Like,
can we also know? Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's watching
thank
right
you
now.
for everybody that's here. Let me highlight a couple comments while we're at it. Thundercat 616 is in the building, baby. I know we about to have Thank you for being
With
here.
Smoky Mama as the profile picture. I gotta watch Friday,
Yes.
baby.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Friday.
The eyebrows are the hedge of protect. Yes. Definitely he's in protective custody with those eyebrows, no shade. Um Not too much on Ted Lee. That's my boo. I live for him too.
He likes him.
It's just yes. I would definitely honestly if I could have like a drink, like a sit down, like hang out with anybody from this season, it might be Ted Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Lee or Astro.
Yep, Ted Lee, Astro Dior.
Yeah, he's a key. Like I think he is really funny. I also lived when in the beginning when I guess Jet Jeff always be in somebody's business. I'm not to digress, but he always be in somebody like, well, I saw on Instagram that you was with another man. What's going on? Like, sis, where's your man? Like, mind your business. Right? Damn. Like, is this a hobby for you? Just looking up people's stuff? But yeah, he was like, I saw you had a new man, and he was like, what did he say? Like, well, you could have my leftovers, something like that. He was like, I don't want to get divorced. I was like, ooh, that cute back and forth. I said, ooh, I don't think Ted Lee was ready for that. Cause he was like, well, yeah, okay, we'll see. Like he didn't say nothing after that. I was like, well, cleared him real quick. George was super pressed. Yes, George was super pressed. Like, and yeah, I mean, George always gets into it. That's kind of his thing on this show. But like, yeah, it was definitely given like we really beefing. Like, we really got an issue. So maybe we'll find out. Let me know, y'all, if they've said it on a live or an after show or something. Let me know if it actually came out because I don't know. Ted Lee is not a fighter. Only battle they was going to do was a Vogue battle. Yes, I would have lived for that, a Vogue battle. Honestly, I don't think George was going to fight him either, to be quite honest. He was very mad, but I don't think he was going to fight.
No, he wasn't.
They ain't going to take it to Ross. Shout out to anybody that knows that reference. Because the scary ass bitch didn't want to take it to Ross.
I was like, Reese, go do something, baby. Go
Reese, baby. Shout out to Reese, wherever he is. Like,
do a fool for that one.
Some good.
I also want to note that George trying to rumble in that suit was kind of giving Van from Black and Crew.
Oh yeah,
he was rumbling in that damn tight ass suit. I said, George, go take a breather, baby. Go have a seat.
Yeah,
you steaming, relax. And that suit is about to melt right off your body.
Listen up that did he have on a bow tie? I feel like he have on bow ties. Listen up that loosen up that tie, that bow tie, whatever you had on, because yeah, you doing a lot right now. But TT Lee, how you telling someone to come outside when you trembling after the last fight? Right? I was like, weren't you right behind Kiki when they got into it at the color party or whatever? Like, I don't know. I think he probably had somebody outside though. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, some niggas waiting for George.
I think that's something. Ted Lee is the most seasoned and George is beyond desperate. It's embarrassing to watch someone his age be so invested in someone else's relationship. Ooh, that's true.
It was crazy that George kept saying, like, oh, you with a different nigga every day, you with a different nigga every day. And I'm like, well, how would you know if you aren't keeping up
if you follow him?
Yeah. Or even if somebody's coming to you talking about Ted Lee, like, to somebody that you don't care for, like, why is, it's just weird.
Why are you bothered? Yeah. Yeah, we still don't know what happened, but they said somebody else was in the middle of the situation. They didn't want to bring them up, so maybe it was over a man, maybe it was over some, something like that. But I guess we'll never know. Child, when George said he has a video of Ted Lee getting buzzed down again, did he say that? I did. That completely flew over my head.
He said he had a video of Ted Lee with a nigga. And it's giving Bad Girls Club season 4 when Natalie said she had that video. Hey, now if you don't like this broad, why do you have a video of her like on your phone?
That's what I'm wondering. Why do you have a video of Ted Lee, somebody you can't stand? Like, and it's also, not to digress, but it's also given that season of the come up when what is his name?
Boots.
Yes, I'm like, why do you, if you don't like this person, why do you have any type of nudes or anything about them in your phone? Like, it's giving obsessed. Ted Lee explained it on TTB Live last night. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I knew somebody would have had to explain it Because I'm just like, this don't make no damn sense. This don't make no damn sense. Like, for real. Had your expression, yes, Dior was giving the facial expressions I needed. Like,
Yes.
especially when Keyshawn made the comment about the I don't even want to repeat it because I'm trying to be less
About being
vulgar on
Picasso.
air. Yes, he was like, what the fuck, like y'all on something else. But he laughed at the comment George made about his fingernails about to fall off. Oop. A whole mess.
Catwoman.
Ted Lee is an older gentleman, very handsome. Ted Lee, I feel like they show a photo of Ted Lee without the eyebrows, like he had normal brows, and he looked so much better. I mean, he looks okay now, but I feel like without the brows, and even maybe if he just went bald, I feel like he would look good. But hey, to each his own, you know. He don't look bad now, but they was gonna take it to Ross. Now I don't know if that's a department store. I ain't never really been in a Ross, so I don't know if that's what it gives. Like we about to squabble.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but he said he felt like George was really hurt about the way that he stopped communicating with him. He also said he asked him outside because he was fed up with the insults, and he said, "I ain't no punk." Okay, I see that. I can also see George, because George, when he said like I was up late at night with you on the phone, like consoling you when I had to work in the morning, I gave up like time to like, you know, be a friend to you. But I'm still trying to figure out what Ted Lee did to make it go left. So was there some betrayal? Was he not there for George in return? But I guess I gotta check out that TTB live. Shout out to TTB. Ted Lee said that was a lie and he hasn't made any videos. Child, I don't know. He real popular, no shade. We go. I wouldn't be surprised if a video or two popped up, but we gonna see.
Not a Ted Lee, not TT Lee.
TT Lee, baby. But yes, just to do a little, you know, not get her out the way, but just to, you know, touch on somebody that just was kind of there, didn't really do too much. Kiki showed up late, fashionably late. What did you think of her this reunion? She didn't really do much or say much, but they did talk a little bit about her. Or she did talk a little bit about like Morehouse, and like she kind of let us in on like, you know, her job and like having to like change up her presentation to like work at the job. So
right. Excuse me, I did find it interesting because I remember that she spoke on her experience at Morehouse with like two of her friends earlier in the season. So I like Kiki. I just wish we could have saw like more of like the ballroom Kiki. It always seems like she kind of tended to side more with like Robert and like Londi, almost like Robert and Londi can kind of do like no wrong. So that's kind of where she lost to me. But overall, I feel like she was an okay addition to the show. Hopefully she speaks up more. Hopefully more questions are geared towards her part 2. So like,
yeah,
right now part 1 is just kind of focused on like 4 people, and it's a cast of like 20 goddamn people. So I would like the other people to like.
I say it every season, they need less people, but hey, no, I agree. She didn't really do too much. Like I said, I did think it was interesting how she talked about like working, you know, as a teacher. She kind of had to like in the beginning, like, I guess, what do they call it? Like, what is it called? There's a term I've heard where like trans people, they have to like change, they have to present like, you know, a certain way during the day, but then at night they go out, you know, they dress up how they want to dress, you know, but I don't remember the name. But you know, that's kind of what she had to do. And I felt like that was, you know, interesting, you know, and kind of, I mean, unfortunate in an unfortunate way, but just interesting to hear that she had to do that, you know. But yeah, other than that, she didn't really do much. I do hope they talk about kind of her comments during that brunch when they were when they went away, and she was kind of talking about how they were acting. She was saying the femme girls were acting like queens. She was kind of siding with like she was siding with like Londi and Robert, and I was like, ooh. And then she made that Queen comment. I was like, yikes! Like I was like, I don't know about this. So I hope they asked her about that at the reunion. Hey Ebby, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
We
being here.
appreciate you.
That's
Yes.
everybody that's here.
Yes, somebody that was at the reunion. I was just watching her and Really BTV, I believe, did a review, and they talked about they were there, so they had like more of a like an in-person, like
Okay.
they kind of talked about behind the scenes stuff.
Perspective. Okay.
Yes. So shout out to her. Yes, definitely. Thank you for being here. We not done with Kiki. Just wait to part 2. Okay, cool. Yes, hope we get into the minutiae of what's going on. Kiki is so pretty, but she didn't give much. I would be more interested in her teaching curriculum. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if they necessarily were allowed to film. I mean, I know they could have filmed her like in the school, not around any kids, but I don't know. I'm wondering, I'm also wondering like what they could have done with her being a teacher. Cause like I love when they have people on the show that have different types of jobs. We always see we have a singer, a rapper, a fashion, something, a stylist or a fashion blogger or designer, something like that. But I love when they have like teachers. I think somebody like a couple seasons ago, Premiere, I think he does interior design or did interior design.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Like I love to see like different career paths.
I also would have liked to have seen like more ballroom scene, like
Yes.
Because I feel like
That would have
was
been nice.
More personality from her. But
Right. Hey Trey Carter, thank you for being here.
Carter, baby.
Yes.
Thank you. Everybody taking the time out of day. Good Saturday night to be
good
here.
Saturday.
Really appreciate it.
The weather is weathering, so hopefully, y'all are about to go out, got you a good drink, enjoying your weekend.
Stay hydrated, stay cool,
yes.
baby, because this heat is fucking just relentless.
Blue Devil Bay said Londi fine as he want to be though. He is attractive. He is very attractive. I will give him that.
It's all that goddamn yelling though. Like, sorry,
yeah. And it's like, damn, I kind of wish you weren't on this season because I knew him from Lovers and Friends. That's the only thing I knew him for before this. So like I was like, yes, Londi, like, Londi cute. He was very reserved. He was giving very Kesey energy on Lovers and Friends. So to see him on this show and be the villain, it's like, whoa. But yeah, he is fine. Didn't Kiki get hit with some allegations in the middle of the season? What allegations? Allegations. Let us know, Trey Carter, sorry. Yeah, let us know because I'm wondering. He is fine and low key in person. Okay. See, I'm sure he gives something different when the cameras are not around. Maybe. So that's what had Jet Jeff in his DMs. See, he wanted to taste him. I said, Mike.
He said, I don't like that. It kept it moving. I said, Mike, are you not embarrassed?
Whose face did they cut to when he said that? They cut to somebody's face, and I can't remember. And they were just like, I think it might have been Trey. That is too funny. But
not him getting curved the first time and then going back with something way more explicit.
Not him saying they went to his apartment. He was like, we didn't go to my apartment. He was like, well, we went to somebody's apartment. I'm like, Jeff, were you like were you under the influence when this was happening? I mean, I know y'all was drinking, but like he ain't had no memory. But but yeah, speaking of Jet Jeff, why don't we go ahead and go right on into Jet Jeff?
Okay.
He was kind of like he had some parts on this reunion. He kind of was more so defending himself from BMSC. And being the bone carrier is kind of a thankless job. Ask Trey Howard, like when you carry the bone, people come for you. Do you think it was warranted? I know you said you felt bad for him. Do you think that they were ganging up on him, or do you think they were too harsh on him?
Not really.
And also comment below if you
I just feel like
have an opinion.
I feel like Jet probably lives in a world where he can be messy and not really probably have people confront him the way they did on like this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't I would say it's too much, but it's kind of like be careful what you ask for. Like you want to be messy, and the people that you were like, I guess, gossiping about are now confronting you about the shit that you were saying. So just stand on what you say. Like,
true.
If you don't want to be like, if you don't want confrontation, then just, especially this being like your first season, maybe like, Jet, because
some people come out swinging though. That's how you get to the second season. Got to start off hot.
I mean, and I get that, but don't start off hot and then end the season with fucking cold feet. Like,
true.
So
very true.
That was kind of like, don't be messy and then be like, oh my gosh, why are you yelling at me or whatever. So I don't know.
You know what's crazy? I mean, you can be both, but I feel like Jet Jeff is, out of all the people on the show, no shade to the other people on the show that make music or anything like that, but I feel like he has the best music. I feel like his music is catchy. I can hear it at the club. I could see him performing at Pride because like that, what's the Do I Gotta Boo Because I Want You? That was stuck in my head like a couple weeks ago. I'm not even gonna lie. So like I feel like his music is catchy. I wish he had led more with that. He could have still been a little messy, but I feel like, especially since like we all know Trey Howard, this is like a vacation for him. He has his own show, so he had queued up all the work for that. So like this is his time to just relax and like chill. So but with Jeff, it's like I wish, because I see that talent, I wish he would have, focused on that more than, just being messy. But
I agree. Cause like his music videos, like the production of his videos, I feel like there's that word top tier. But then like personality wise, I feel like Jeff is kind of like a wet mop. No shade.
Well, some people, they think being messy is the personality. Like you can be messy, but have a personality,
or being biracial, or being a nationality.
I'm so sorry there are any biracial people in this live.
I'm just saying, not all biracial people are like that. But you got some people who are biracial and Hispanic.
Here you go, Latin, talking about race,
and they think that is a personality trait. And it's like, no. Jeff just kind of like this being the first season and him kind of being the musician that he is. I was kind of just expecting more, but he was being messy and
I could see that
he got caught out on it. So
no, for sure. No, I definitely feel like he could have done more, like focusing on his music. But I mean, honestly, with the whole situation with him and Lon D, I guess him, Lon D, and Ted Lee, him saying that he thought they were together or asking if they were together. Let us know in the chat. Like, let me know, Troy. I didn't think it was that big of a deal personally. I feel like he was just asking. I could see if he was constantly saying it or like they said no and then he just kept asking. I do feel like I kind of understand where Lon D is coming from because Lon D does have a partner. So it's like you trying to put this body on me and I got a man. So like,
right.
But at the same time, I feel like he could have just communicated that like, yo, I got a man. I'm not trying to, like, don't try to put nothing between us because we're friends. So like when we hang out, maybe his boyfriend might feel away because there's a rumor going around that they, So I feel like if Lon D had just explained it that way, it would have made more sense. Instead, Lon D was just trying to attack Jet Jeff when I feel like Jet Jeff didn't really mean any. I mean, he was being messy, but I don't think he was trying to like create an issue, if that makes sense. Like I think he just tried to use that as something to talk about. Like if you saw like two people kind of like, hanging out and he being real defensive, you might also be like, oh damn, like are y'all like what's going on with y'all? What kind of history y'all got? Like, not on some serious shit, but just as something to talk about. But that goes back to him. He should have focused more on his music instead of like getting into the mess. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Savion. Thank you for being here. It said everybody on here was messy. True. Everybody played their part, so everybody's throwing rocks in glass houses. Joan Jett is fun messy. There's no malicious intentions to his shenanigans. That's what I was trying to say, Ebby. Thank you. Not Joan Jett. Joan Jett, baby. Also said that he got away with a lot this season. He was throwing his little slick shade, but like I said, I feel like there's a difference between. I mean, everybody's going to take shade differently, but I think there's a difference between like ill intent or like me just being funny, like, you
Mhm.
know, because some people just throw shade as a joke, like they don't really mean anything by it. Ask Troy, I know you do that a lot. No, I'm playing. Um, but Trey Carter said it was something on TTB's live was accusing Kiki of being oh Lord, not a streetwalker. I don't know anything about that, but you know, hey, the girls have
What
to do what they
Rossi
have to
say?
do.
My goodness.
Not not Rosmi. Oh my god. But I mean, she a whole teacher out here, so hopefully, you know,
Right.
I mean, hey, that's a business, child.
That's a wild accusation.
Yeah, I mean, with everybody on OnlyFans now. I mean, I know that's different from, you know, which what Trey Carter just said, but still. Lon D mad at Jeff for doing the exact same thing he was doing with Dior and Kesey. Yes. Oh my God. Let's get to that. The fact that Lon D really tried to make it seem like it was two different things. And I knew he was on some bullshit when Markel asked him how it was different. And he was like, I'm so glad that you asked that question. I'm so glad because I'm about to tell you right now. And I'm like, are you going to tell us or are you just thinking, are you buying yourself time to like think of a rebuttal? Because I'm like, okay, yeah, he asked the question. What's the answer though? That's what we care about. Like, so yeah, I was just like, and then he was like, well, Kesey had said, I guess the difference he was saying is that Kesey had kind of alluded to them actually messing around, so that gave him the fuel to actually like act like they were messing around. But I'm like, you weren't there when Kesey said that,
Right.
so
Somebody
you
had
got
relayed that information to you, to him.
exactly. So you're literally in the same position as Jeff, if anything.
Right.
Like somebody said it to you, and now you're, you know. So it's just
And
like I don't
then,
know.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Then at the photo shoot, he asked Dior again, like, were y'all together? Are y'all item? Dior said no. And then went back during the whole camera, was like, I didn't want to be in a room with the couple. After they had just told. So Lon D is just a big, I mean, he's a goofy. Hopefully he's not casted for Lovers and Friends as a host. Just keep my girl CC on and recast Lon D. I'll host Lovers and Friends with my girl CC. Because I don't know what Lon D on.
You need to be a contestant first and then be a host.
Well, listen, let me be host first, and then because I don't want to. What if I get denied for being a bachelor? And then oh, you can host, baby. That's shade. And I'm on hard production. I'm going too hard production.
That is shade. I'm screaming. You can host.
Listen. Okay, let me host first, and then move into the whole bachelor part. But
right,
yeah, Lon D was
okay.
that whole part was crazy. Like
I can't get behind his actions. Yeah. I want to like Lon D because I feel like he is rational at times, and I do feel like he does seem cool, but like I feel like he's also kind of a hypocrite. Like things will happen, and he's like things will happen, and he'll like react to it in a way, but then it's like you just did it, you know? And it's like with the whole yelling situation, like this is and it wasn't just the color party that you were yelling at people. So to me, it's just kind of like I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have as much self-awareness as he thinks he has. He also isn't as mature as he thinks he is either, as far as I can tell from the show. But we were talking about Jeff and we just got on to Lon D. But
same girl, shit. No shade.
Not same girl. But what else happened with Jeff? Was that it? Just the whole Lon D situation, him getting tripped up with Lon D? Said they was in an apartment together. I said, okay. Real interesting. From the pool to the apartment.
In an apartment. We weren't in my apartment. Just said we were in an apartment. Lon D said, let me reiterate that it was not my apartment.
My apartment. You've never seen my apartment. like okay. I got
oh my goodness.
But yeah, Jeff. Can Jeff come back next season?
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry. You asked me or you asked the audience?
I'm asking you. Yeah, I was asking you. I was just surprised how quickly you answered.
Oh, well, you know, I said recast the whole. Recast this whole.
I forgot about that. You said just throw the whole cast.
Leave Astro and Ted Lee. Dior could be a friend of the show, and Trey could be a friend of the show. Everybody else can go.
Ooh, okay.
Also, let us know in the comments how y'all feel about like, can Jeff stay or should he go?
Yeah, who should stay and who should go? Let us know. Londi wanted everyone to know someone wanted to taste him. It was such a weird comment. Like he wanted to taste me. Like, okay.
You were the
Like,
vampire boy T. What do you mean by that?
what do you mean by that? Like, Londi said he has two modes, 0 and 100, no in between. See, that's something that I feel like a child would say, like someone in their early 20s maybe would say. I just feel like at Londi's grown man age, you need to have more control over your emotions. Like,
Especially being the host of a goddamn talk show. You have
right.
to be rational and have to think like on the spot, or just
Or
you
just in
have
your
to find
everyday
balance.
life.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Like, who just like goes to 0 to 100? Like, no, I feel like you need to. I feel like if you're going from 0 to 100, you're not really assessing what's going on. Like, you're not really able to calm yourself down, which I feel like, everybody got the things they need to work on, but I feel like that's a little, that's not something he should be proud of or saying just out of nowhere. But I can believe it because he was yelling. He snapped at his event, at his actual apartment, I think, or apartment complex or whatever. He was snapping on them. So I was like, damn.
Goodness, so goddamn angry.
Right. I agree with Londi. I agree Londi is not mature as he thinks he is. Yes. I feel like he thinks he's a lot more mature than he is. Side note, I do want to say when they were talking about their fathers, I felt really bad when he said, like, I guess when he shed light on like his relationship with his father and how he kind of talked about it on the season, but like I guess his father didn't raise him. He's a minister. People look up to him. But when he said, he saw his dad and his brother like playing basketball and he didn't even know his dad was in town, I'm like, damn, like that's pretty sad. Like, not to put like not to be a Debbie Downer, but like
Yeah,
that really stood out to me. I'm like, damn, like I can't imagine being a child and being like, there's my dad with somebody else, didn't even, bring me along, So, and I feel like it's that whole conversation was interesting. I won't go too far into it right now, but like it was interesting because it obviously set the like tone for like how these people interact with people now. So it's like a lot of them not having their fathers in their life or not having that parent. I do think, it has an effect on how you interact with people, other men too. So
true,
that's something that stood out to me.
true. I'm sorry to backtrack, but did you also catch when Jet Jeff was talking about? I guess he was like he found Londi attractive, and Robert Ray was like, "You find everybody attractive."
Ooh.
I said, Robert Ray, bury yourself in
Robert
just thinking.
Ray, we'll get to it, but Robert Ray was definitely giving catty energy. This whole season has really like, I'm like, damn, those boring comments must have really got to him because this like he's been like saying little slick shit like
On
under his
10,
breath,
but goddamn.
like, Robert, where did you come from? Like, why are you so angry? Um, but yeah, I would like Jet to stay. I just didn't care for him not owning up to being messy. True, true. I mean, he could have just been like, "Yeah, I'm messy. What of it?" Like, everybody's been messy to some extent, especially Lon D, like you said. Like, so,
But he can get away with it because he's mass presenting or he's straight presenting.
oop, and there we go. There we go. Ted Lee, Astro, and surprisingly, Jet can stay. The rest can go. I still like Robert and Dior though. Yeah, I like Dior. Dior seems really creative, but I just don't feel like he has the personality for this type of show. Like, he kind of reminds me, if anybody who's watched the first season of Chasing Dallas, there used to be a guy, I forgot his name, cute guy, but he used to do hair, but he was really talented, but he just didn't have like a big personality, and I feel like that's kind of Dior. Like, I feel like Dior doesn't really have a big personality either. So, I'll
I feel
follow him
like
on
this season,
Instagram, but like I don't
I
think he
feel
needs
like
to be on the
Dior is
show.
just over this season. Like Dior last season
Yeah.
was like personality and like remember he had Wooda shook at that damn birthday party. Was about to go. Was about
Do
to
I
put
need
out
to
some
pull anything
snaps.
out of this bag? I
Like
was like, oh,
that's the Dior I live for Dior in general, but season 3 Dior was a move. Dior season 3 Dior was it, but I feel
true.
like
He
this
was
season
rowdy.
he was just kind of like checked out. Maybe he had like a lot of stuff going on, like off camera personally,
Maybe,
but
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Dior should be like a friend of the show for like a few seasons. Take like a few seasons off, come back,
A
you know, like
consultant.
refresh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I could see that. Um, I think Jet should stay. He was actually chasing, in my opinion. He was trying to find his spot for the show. He chose to be messy, and it made him relevant to a couple storylines. True. I mean, I do think his music is good, and I do think he is actively working on his music. I mean, I don't mind him being messy, but like Troy said, like I feel like he could have owned up to it more. But yeah, I mean, he has something to talk about it at the very least. Um, but was Robert wrong though? Robert about what? Was he wrong?
Oh, was is that the comment about Jeff finding everybody attractive?
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe is he the new DM monster? You know, these shows got at least one
Oh my
DM
gosh.
monster.
You
I
know,
would have
we
thought it
no,
would be
we I want to say
DeAndre.
we
No
love a
shade,
Dion
but
monster, but okay, Dion monster
yeah,
gets the trauma going. Okay.
yes, definitely. Um, Keyshawn can stay if he actually has a product to present next season. He actually entertaining to me with his abilities to go back and forth with people. He does. He does. The reads they do take a little long to get out sometimes, but I'm here for it. I'm here for them. Once they finally get out, I'm like, okay, you did that. Like, but yeah, once we see a blog, like, yeah, I'm here for it.
I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm picking on Keyshawn. It's just like first season of Chasing, you kind of really don't have anything to show for like the entire season. Like the video, don't get me wrong, he put the video together, and I knew that took like effort and time, and you know all of that. But Keyshawn spent so much time focused on like DeAndre and beefing with DeAndre. It's just kind of like he kind of let this opportunity slip by him. Like that's just how I feel. So
I could see that. No, for sure. He definitely let it slip by. And Robert apologized to Dior in front of everyone. Yes, I do remember that. I thought that was sincere. I think Robert has a lot of respect for Dior, which is why I think he has so much animosity towards him in the beginning of the season. But yeah, I do like how he respects him, and they have a respect for each other. I can't believe that Robert Ray is younger than Dior. No shade, but like I'm just like, wow, because he kept saying like big bro, and I'm like, wait, Dior's older than you? Like I would have thought you were older than Dior.
It shows. I would no shade, but if Robert Ray acting like that, he the older brother. Oh boy, no shade. So yeah, him being the little brother definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it takes guts to apologize like that in front of everybody. DM monster, yes. You know, every one of these shows has a DM monster. Be it everybody DMs. Like, put a leash on that, okay? Like, calm down. Like, just trying to run through everybody. Like, relax. Like,
not the DM monsters. No.
Hey, Spicy Original. Thank you for being here.
Spicy Original. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate
Audience,
you
on
this good Saturday.
DM monster or a pussy monster?
Oh Lord, here you go.
Listen, summer 2023 is approaching. Things are slowly returning back to normal. It's a hot boy summer. Well, let me not say hot boy summer, but yeah, it's up.
I'm gonna say pussy monster because I feel like DM monsters, they DM but they don't have anything to offer for the most part. So it's just like I'd rather just have the pussy monster. Shout out to our chase, or shout out to the shit we do for love. Go back and watch our old reviews. Yes. A lot of edited reviews for that too. So if you like our edited stuff, please check that out. But
you better plug that in.
Right. But yeah, so moving on, we talked about Jet, we talked about Lon. Well, we can talk a little bit more about Londi. Did we talk about the yelling, the whole situation he had with Trey? We talked about that already, did we or not?
No, I don't think so. About him yelling in Trey's apartment and him saying that Trey wasn't justified for yelling, and Trey's like, it's my home.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that? Because it was Trey's home. I pay bills in this bitch. I'm gonna yell.
Yes. And I was kind of looking at Markel sideways because Markel was like, well, that's a double standard. And I was like, is it really? Because I feel like I feel like the average person abides by that code. Like there are
Right.
things I can do in my house
Right.
that you can't,
Exactly.
because it's my house. Like he
Right.
said. And I was living for Trey because he was like, he was just keying like, I pay bills. I pay bills. He was like going back and forth. He was like, my bills, my house. I was like, okay, Trey, I'm living.
That was me. Yeah, I was
Right?
definitely
Like, yeah. Yeah, no, but I agree. Like, it's his place. Like, you can yell and take your ass home to peace
Right.
and quiet.
Right.
If Trey yells, if he wants to take that risk, then yes. But if for you to yell, it's like, no, you don't live here. And I get it, he was trying to take up for Trey, but I feel like it just goes back to that 0 to 100 thing. Like, don't go from 0 to 100 because you're not able to fully assess the situation. You're yelling and not even realizing that you're antagonizing people and putting gasoline on the fire. You making everything worse. Like, because again, like, he's nobody's dad, and no shade. I don't think anybody's really afraid of Line D. So I feel like, of course, people are gonna be like, who are you talking to? Like, everybody's already angry. So that energy is already there. So for you to yell, people are gonna turn that energy and put it on you. Like, so yeah, I thought him yelling was unnecessary. I didn't think it was a double standard. I feel like Trey, and then Trey wasn't really yelling at people, if that makes sense. It seemed like he was more so yelling like, oh my God, they just fought. Like, I failed, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't yelling at the people, if that makes sense. I feel like that's a different thing. But yeah, I didn't think it was a double standard. Let us know if it's a double standard to y'all. I feel like if it's his apartment, it's his rules, like,
most definitely.
Period. But yeah, they was like, that's a double standard. I was like, what?
Shade.
But
That's
yeah,
why Markel was playing favorites.
I could see that. Trey Carter said, yes, I was on Trey's side. Pay a bill, then you can yell, right? Put something on this damn rent. This light bill, this gas bill. Like something.
On this cable bill, baby.
Right. Like, wait, did you catch the part when they was going back and forth? He was like, you're not paying bills, you're not paying my bills. And then Lon D was like, well, pay my bills. I'm like, what? That's not what this argument is about. Like, it was just divulging into like anything. Like, they was arguing about, no, you pay my bills. I'm like, oh my God, what are we even arguing about now? Like, oh my God, it was a mess. But Magic User, shout to you, said, I agree, it was his home, but Trey was fluttering around the floor like a damsel for everyone to say. Lon D wasn't going to do anything. Well, no one stepped to Lon D when he did yell at them. True, that's true. Like a damsel in distress. He was in that wasn't it that like heart sweater, sleeveless sweater? Yes. Dressed like a Powerpuff Girl. He should have diffused the situation. Like,
oh my gosh,
come on now. Spicy Original said, I think he meant the double standard part was him saying he yelled at people to get them to calm down, but he told Lon D yelling at people doesn't calm them down. Yeah, I could see that. I think it's also natural for people to start yelling, like, in a situation like that. But I just feel like Lon D was so removed from the situation. Like, I feel like Trey was in the situation because it's his party and it's at his residence. So that makes sense for him to be yelling and trying to, get everybody under control. Lon D, an outsider. And I get it. He was offended for Trey, but at the same time, it's just like, you are so far removed. Like, you didn't get into a fight. This isn't your place, yet you're yelling at people. Like, it's just like weird. I get he was trying to calm people down, but I don't know. I just don't know if it necessarily worked. Why Lon D is the bad guy when DeAndre was the one who started the altercation is crazy. I don't think Lon D is the bad guy. I just feel like in that situation, I feel like I got where Trey and other people were coming from. DeAndre was definitely the bad guy. Or as Nikki would say, the Chung Lee of the situation. Like, for sure. Definitely, but that's the bad
crazy
guy.
that wasn't brought up at the reunion. DeAndre started the whole altercation.
Yeah,
and that's what led to the yelling match. Yeah.
Will well, and DeAndre can be next actually because I have some points on DeAndre. I do feel like, and like you said something about favoritism, I did
Mm-hmm.
start to see that when it came to
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre, but we'll definitely get to it. But he definitely was the single cause of that fight at the color party. Like you invited your friends, you antagonized Kesey. Kesey, everybody know Kesey is a laid back dude. Like
Mm-hmm.
Kesey don't be bothering nobody. He was chill at the reunion. He been chill
Mm-hmm.
throughout the season. Like yeah, like you clearly antagonized that situation. Um, I get where Trey was coming from though. Yeah, I mean, I get it on both sides. I just feel like Lon D likes to do things and then like he likes to do things and then judge other people for things that he kind of also did, you know? Like you talking about yelling and oh, you fighting at this man's house, but you know, at the brunch when they went away, you were about to fight, caught that man a bitch, like you were real quick to fight. So it was just like, I mean, you can't really be mad at people for doing the same thing that you eventually ended up doing. Um, but yeah, oh, just
Oh
wait
my
on it.
god!
Okay, we gonna see that. Part two. I can't wait for part two, baby.
Right?
Um,
Okay.
Abby's so petty.
Petty
I'm
as
still
hell.
mad at DeAndre's Deacon suit. That dead man suit. I'm sorry. In that dead man suit, child.
Not
I
from
can't.
K&G, baby, because you know K&G used to have that shit back in the day. I used to go up for K&G back in the day,
Yes, just
baby.
get it tailored, baby.
I was
Just
like,
get
yeah,
it
something is
tailored.
so off about his suit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
His
giving
tops
Carl
matching
Winslow.
the bottoms.
Wait, what you say?
Is the top matching the bottom? Is the blazer matching the pants?
I think it was like two different sets, like two different fabrics.
Oh
No shade.
well.
No shade. DeAndre came to the reunion. He came dressed to the reunion like he was obligated to be at the reunion. Not like he wanted to be at the
contractually,
reunion.
contractually obligated. Yes, I can see that.
Okay.
Um, I don't think Londi was the bad guy, but he was his yelling wasn't necessary. His yelling was he was yelling. I'm sorry. I'm tired as hell. But what he was yelling wasn't necessary. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I can read. I'm just I approached this from the wrong angle. I don't think Lon D was the bad guy, but he was yelling, wasn't necessarily calming words. He was telling everyone what they wouldn't do to him mostly. True. True. I mean, I feel like he could have been like, y'all got, businesses, like, calm down, y'all in this man's house. It was more so, yeah, like antagonistic in a way, but not as antagonistic as DeAndre. So um let me see. Not Stacey Adams. Well, Chasing Reality has a long history with Stacey Adams. If you know what I mean. Shout out to Chasing Atlanta. Um, it was the Men's Warehouse, not two for $100. You know what, Trey Carter? I can't.
Yeah,
Times is
that's
hard,
super.
Trey Carter. Okay, like, baby, it was very much pitching amongst peacocks. I
It
can't.
is.
Y'all are dragging this man. Oh my god. But yeah, I would you want to see Lon D back? Not necessarily.
No,
I feel like he didn't really have anything going on. I know he did the sneaker ball, which was cool. I enjoyed that, but I don't know. He didn't really have anything specific that he was chasing.
right.
Um, but yeah. For lovers and friends, sure. Love Lon D down for that. Um
Well, maybe not. Not after this season. Maybe he could take 2 seasons off for Lovers and Friends. Go
Damn.
go find himself and do something about all that yelling.
Speak group.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm here for that. But but yeah. So yeah. So speak of the devil, DeAndre. Um DeAndre this reunion, I mean, definitely giving stunt queen antics like he did the whole season. At first, it's crazy because when I first watched this, because I watched it twice, I
Mm-hmm.
was on his side because I did feel like they were kind of ganging up on him. Um, but watching it the second time, I was like, no, I'm on the other side because I just feel like I feel like DeAndre likes to throw the rock and hide his hand. I feel like he likes to antagonize people, and then when they come for him, it's like, ooh, like, it's like, I mean, he be coming back at them, but I feel like even during like when it wasn't his segment in the very beginning, he was saying little slick comments. And so to me, it's just like, if you're blatantly coming for people, it wasn't even slick, it was just blatantly like trying to read people. So to me, it's like, if you want to make comments while people aren't even talking to you, don't be surprised when like 3 people jump up when you
Right.
arguing with somebody else. Like, be quiet if you don't want to be jumped on. So to me, it wasn't really a double standard because he was talking shit while other people were talking. So to me, it wasn't really a double standard. Let me know in the comments or in the chat, how do you feel about it, Troy? But
I think
that's something I noticed the second time.
like even during the season, he was throwing like unnecessary shade at people, like Dior,
Mm-hmm.
and Dior wasn't even like taking shots at him and shit like
Right.
that. I don't know why they was like, oh, you're ganging up on him. It is what it is. They're just returning the energy that he put out with the 4 episodes that he did before he decided to leave the show. But like Keyshawn said,
Right.
she didn't film green screens for like 9 episodes, so
She had to get it all out right now.
yeah,
This is the green screens. Oh, that's what somebody meant by they're trying to get their green screens.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, I don't feel like, I mean, I feel like they were kind of ganging up on him, but like I said, I feel like he asked for it because he was making little slick comments. But yeah, I feel like DeAndre definitely gives Stunt Queen vibes. I mean, I still kind of live for it because it was drama, but at the same time, I just feel like DeAndre gives that kid in school that's just like always doing some shit. Like, he's always like in some shit. Like, he's always in trouble. He's always get like, that's what he gives. Like, he can't sit still. Like, he's just that person to me. But yeah, at the reunion, I feel like he held his own. I mean, Keyshawn was definitely getting him together and would not take his foot off of his neck. But he didn't cry about it. He was still going back and forth with him. So I was like, okay, I can respect that. What else about DeAndre? Oh, the bottle situation. Him running up out of there, not paying the bottle. He said he paid for the hookah in the section. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe I wasn't there, obviously, but skipped out on the bottle though. I wonder what kind of bottle was it? Like, what were they drinking that he had to skip out on it? Ooh,
I feel like it was Tennessee.
Maybe he felt like they was going because when people drink Hennessy, it's very nuck if you buck. So maybe he thought that was gonna pop off. So he had
Ain't that what boy from the Boondocks? I'm derailing. Gangstalicious, hit him with the Hennessy. Remember, smacked that nigga with the Hennessy bottle and got arrested on sight. Gangstalicious.
Well,
I think it was somebody else that was beefing, but yeah. Get that hen dog in them, and they get to scratch.
It's that hen dog, baby. But yeah.
Well, that's what he get for having him in that hetero homophobic club. And that's
right. In that. Said, what are you doing over there with those maggots? Like, this is very, very not called for. I thought Dallas was a gay-friendly city. Like, dang. I guess not everywhere.
Not maggots.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I gotta censor myself. But yeah, that was very uncalled for. But I mean, DeAndre did he did make some storylines. Like I said, Keyshawn definitely had a lot of the stuff that he had. The lot that he contributed to this show was his issue with DeAndre. So I don't know. DeAndre is an entirely unnecessary character. I mean, he did leave halfway through the season, and he wasn't really that missed, to be honest. DeAndre was throwing shade at everyone from the jump, but claiming he was getting jumped on. Yeah, it was like you were making slick comments even before anybody even said anything. But then they want to call that as a double standard. Like, not really.
Right.
I think he need a second season to correct his missteps from this season. I mean, I would like to see him on another season. I think it's going to be the same antics. Because like I said, I don't think anybody learned from anything from this season, no shade. But it would be interesting to see for sure.
They should have, not they should have, but Jeff should audition for a season of Lovers and Friends as a bachelor. And then come back and do Chasing Dallas. Jeff needs a man. Jeff Jet had a man. Also, shout out to him for being Peruvian and not using the N-word when he describes black men. That's another show that we'll review.
There we go.
That's some
there
more
we go.
on another show that we'll review. But Jeff Jet should do a season of Lovers and Friends and then come back and do $60.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. He definitely needs a boo. We did see him go on a date. When they talked about that trauma, I was like, for a first date, this is a little heavy.
Oh, where was that date? Drunk as fuck. Like,
right.
Listen, baby, this Uber, let's get you back home. Cause
he had that drunk stare. Like, let me call you a lift. Oh,
right.
Like, and let me know if you gotta throw up, cause I don't want that damn charge. So, like, let's figure this out before you get in the Uber, baby. Like, if DeAndre, oh wait, I'm sorry, I didn't read that. DeAndre just be out here firing wildly, trying to hit a target to make a moment. True, he does do that, cause he be just coming out of nowhere, like with the whole fake teeth comment with Trey. It was like, where is this coming from? Like, I don't know.
And if I was Trey, I would have told him I got that damn Chase and Rally check and I paid for that bottle that you skipped out on. Oh, and that section that you walked out on.
You know what I would have said?
Manager.
I would have walked out, and as I walked out, I would have turned around like, they're done. They're done. Get your teeth fixed. They're done. Like, shout out to Nene Teeth, baby. If DeAndre had his own shit together, it would make his shade more palatable. True. Shade always hits when you got your shit together. For
Very
sure.
True. And when you can pay for a bottle that you order. No shade.
That's true. Not a what is it? Dine and dash? Is that what it's called? When people leave before they pay the bill?
Yes,
dine and dash.
I never heard of that at a club, but go off DeAndre.
Man, and probably drunk up all the Hennessy too. Like, and bounced. Stunt queen antics. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
To give him a slight defense, he told Dior that he would pay for half the bottle, not the bill. Dior showed them the bill that they were arguing about scrounging for the bottle was $250. I mean, I feel like part of it was them scrounging because they didn't know they had to pay for it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, okay, well, how much are we gonna put together? But if that's true, then okay, yeah, then I understand where DeAndre is coming from. If he said he was gonna pay for a certain amount of things, he didn't say he was gonna pay for everything. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. But yeah. Markel deserves props for the editing. Editing of part 1 was raising my anxiety with them cutting into everybody in the chaos. Yes, everybody was talking over everybody. Everybody was, nobody could get a word in. But yeah, it was definitely raising my anxiety because I was just like,
this is too much.
Everybody's yelling. Yeah, I can't, when people are arguing and everybody's trying to talk at the same time, it makes my head hurt. Clearly unpopular opinion, but I like DeAndre for the show. He is good for the show. I can see how he's good for the show because he's messy and he's gonna bring the drama. And let's be honest, everybody loves drama. You know, that's not the only thing I like, but definitely here for the drama. So
right.
He could be kind of like a Drecember. I could see. Like every time he comes around, like they bring him out when they want to bring out the big guns when it comes to drama. Like, okay, well, we'll bring him into a scene, have him, stir up some mess and then leave. Like, I could see that for him for sure. But yeah, DeAndre was definitely in defense mode this whole reunion. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of other key moments that had him in it. I don't know. Other than the bottle stuff, him going back and forth with Keyshawn, them trying to read each other back and forth was hilarious. That little itty bitty watch though. And what's funny is that I feel like it took DeAndre a second to actually catch the shade because he looked down at his watch like, oh shit, I'm wearing a watch. Little itty bitty watch though. I can't. I wonder if he got that from, what is it, K Jewelers? Shout out to K Jewelers.
Not that every kiss begins with K Jewelers.
Yes.
My goodness. Sean and DeAndre should just have.
They might as well because the tension is there. They might as well, because they definitely are like steady coming for each other for no reason. He was catching all the side comments, which was messy as hell. Yes, catching all those strays. Ebby out here deserves credit for being the up-chosen punching bag target for Markel, since they thought she'd be the host. Wait, she was a punching bag. Wait. The punching bag for Markel, since they thought she'd be the host. So she was catching flack because they thought she was going to be the host. I did hear that she might have been the host, but did she get hate for that? Let us know, Magic User. Listen, I thought Astro was going to jump across the couch. Yes. Oh my God. How can we forget about that? Yeah, Astro. It's no secret I like Astro. I think he was one of my favorites from the season. Don't know what other obligations he had or other commitments he had outside the show, because he kind of disappeared for a little bit. But definitely showed up to the reunion on 10. I don't know what the the issue was. I mean, I get it, like, you know, somebody's coming for somebody that you care about and you already don't like them, so you want to get your 2 cents in, but it was a lot. Like, it was just like, calm down. Why are you so mad? Right. Like, it's not that's it. And then he was like, it's the Astro show. I was like, quiet as this cat, boo. It wasn't. Like, you weren't here for like half the season. Like, in the beginning, it kind of was. It was starting to be like, you know, you were like the fan favorite. And I still think, you know, some people would think he was a fan favorite, but you kind of dipped off like halfway through. So just kind of like, I don't know. We kind of forgot about you for a little bit. But yeah, I was just like, whoa, this is giving manic energy. Like, this is my show. I'm like, whoa, bro, calm down.
Yeah, he was hot. Like, Astro was hot. I understand
yeah.
So, I think it was because I just found it weird that he was sitting on the side with the people that he had the issue with, and not on the side with like Keyshawn and I guess Trey.
Right.
Jet. I just found that a little odd.
He could have been over there with them for sure. But yeah, they was definitely about to get into it. I was like, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need Color Party round 2. Like, because they did they fight? Yeah. So maybe that's where the animosity is coming from. I did. Oh, I'm sorry, Ebby. That's unfortunate. I feel like most of the hosts that have hosted do a good job. Like, I feel like you would have did a good job. Like, you know. I don't know why you would caught flack for that. The girl can handle it. Yes, girl. But yeah, people shouldn't be coming for you for that. Like, for what? Mad because it wasn't them. Let me see. Why they had Astro on the side of the odds anyways. Right, yeah, like, I don't know. But yeah, Astro didn't really say much. They didn't really get to him yet.
That's what I'm calling it. Or that's how I'm calling it.
I thought he was here for the community. I can't even pronounce it like he does, but he don't need to fight. He needs to be for the community. There we go. I think I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, Astro was doing a lot. But he did calm down after I think he realized he was doing a lot, because they were like, this wasn't about you. Like, this is about them. Let them, you know, hash it out. So I'm glad he did calm down. He also talked about like living with his mom, and his mom having him young and like them having to move around. So I thought that was cool, because he, you know, shed more light onto that situation. But other than that, he didn't really say nothing. I'm surprised they didn't talk about him flashing hole. I said I was gonna be PG on this live. No, I had to bring it up. Maybe it's gonna be part 2. They talk about that, but yeah.
Back in Flash, hold that up. Oh no, my
right. Goodness. I was like, that's
I wonder what would happen if you did that, like actual, like
an actual wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would that disqualify you? I don't know if
that'd be a chop. First, would you get maced and then was that choppy? I feel like you would get maced. And then
not maced for flashing hole. My goodness.
Remember that ball where somebody, I think they cut a boy's boyfriend and he maced the judge, just walked through with that. Yeah, baby.
I was like, you were prepared.
It's not funny, but that was wild.
That was messed up.
I'm sorry. Shout out to Astro.
That was crazy. Yes, shout out to Astro. But he was on the side with the people who didn't show much. Maybe that was supposed to be Kiki C, but she came late. I could see that. Yeah, I could see her definitely being in that seat, and then Astro being over where she was. Um, but yeah, hopefully they get more into his time on the show, part two. He gonna pop off again. Just wait on it. I know he is, because he, when they told him like, well, this isn't really about you, he was like, okay. He like sucked it up, just stayed quiet, like, but I know it's coming. I already know it's coming. But yeah, Astro, yeah, definitely went off. Even DeAndre was kind of surprised, like, what, where you come from? Like, what's going on?
Right?
Um, but yeah, yeah, that was Astro. Sorry, I'm just going through the people in my mind who we have left to talk about.
I think
Um
Robert Ray and Dior.
Robert Robert Ray and Dior and Kesey. Well, let's just get
I think
Kesey out
he's
the way, because Kesey, Kesey didn't really say much. I noticed that people in the comments, I mean, people have been living for Kesey because he's fine. We obviously know that. But people were living for just like how calm and composed he is, and how that adds to his attractiveness. So let me, Troy, how do you feel about that? People in the chat, how do y'all feel about that? I saw that commented a lot on the actual, show. Just him being calm and like demure and like, more mature kind of added to his attractiveness.
excuse me. I like Kesey, but just watching, like, I wish he was like a larger part. I wish he was shown more this season. Like, I wish he
Mm-hmm.
played like a bigger role in this season or whatever. But just watching like the chaos at the reunion and kind of just watching him just sit there, like, it was hard to watch. But it's like, damn, like I kind of see like his energy is kind of like low, just because he's
Yeah.
not like probably like not used to being like around that type of like chaos or whatever. But I like Kesey. I think his
Mm-hmm.
music is dope. His energy, just the way he presents himself, and the way he absorbs things, but his energy is still like his aura is still like radiant. So I think he's just
Right.
overall just a really super just dope, cool person. I wish we would have saw more of him this season. Like
Yeah.
I wish we would have saw. I feel like Kesey just being who he is. If there was like drama and then something like Kesey in the studio or like Jeff in the studio, like I feel like this season Kesey would have been that balance between like the drama and then the chasing
I
of the
could see
drama.
that.
Like he was
I,
using, if he was utilized properly, if his character was utilized properly this season.
yeah. I also feel like he also kind of like similar to Dior, like he doesn't really have the I don't think he has the personality for a reality show. Like, I mean, I feel like he's cool. Like, of course, I'm sure in person he's super cool, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. I just don't know if he has that like big personality for reality TV. But you do need those like laid back, quiet ones to kind of, add to the balance of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But Hebby said Kiki or Kiki. Kisi is so sweet and soft spoken in person. That's so cute. I don't There's just something about that, because I feel like sometimes like on this show, like I feel like some people feel like they have to be like aggressive or like,
Yeah.
especially some of the mass presenting people on these
Mm-hmm.
shows. They feel like they have to, be a certain way, or they may just be that way naturally. But I like how Kesey is just himself, and like, he does come across very like sweet and soft spoken, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of endearing. um I really like Kiki, but the others were mad about her comments, and siding with Lon, but I wasn't. I mean, I didn't really care for her saying that they acting like a bunch of queens, because I was like, I don't know about all that. Just because they're getting into it, I mean, why they acting like queens, but Robert Ray and Lon D aren't? Like, they all
Right.
arguing, but yeah, you can tell Kesey's a sweetheart. Yes, definitely. Um, yes, love a sensitive artist.
An
Anyway,
emotionally intelligent artist. Let's say
there we
that.
go. There we go. But yeah, he was there, looked cute, you know. um let's get into Robert Ray. So Robert Ray, we talked about how he apologized to Dior, which I thought was cool. I feel like he has a lot of respect for Robert Ray. He has a lot of respect for Dior, and yeah, I could definitely see that. He talked about, of course, raising his daughter, who's he found out isn't biologically his, but he's still, it's still his daughter. He raised her, taking care of her. She was going to prom, which I feel like that's so dope. That, like, when he first talked about it, she was super young. He raised her, and now she's going to prom. She's, growing up. So I think that that's super cool. That he was able to talk about fatherhood. Um, I still don't really know the real beef with Trey outside of, I guess, the fact that Trey is just messy and Robert Ray doesn't live for that. Because I just noticed that he always goes for Trey. Whenever Trey is talking, he's always like nobody else, but like, or well, Jet. But outside of that comment he made about Jet, yeah, he's always like, what did he say? Like, because Londi and Londi. No, it was Londi and Trey. They were talking about
Oh, it was Londi. Okay.
the color. Oh, the
Yeah.
color. Yeah, the color party. And he was like, "Oh, something like, oh, he said that before." And it's like, well, it's the reunion. Of course, they're gonna rehash the things that were said and talked about. So, but he just said it like with an attitude, like,
yeah.
And that's when
Trey.
Yeah, and that's when Trey was like, "Well, I mean, we're at the reunion, so I'm saying it again." Like, I don't know. I just don't get the animosity. Maybe it's just the fact that he's messy, but
Robert Ray's also messy.
True. Very true. So I don't know. But yeah, outside of that, he didn't really say or do much. He was taken up for DeAndre, which I guess DeAndre, Londi, and Robert Ray are kind of all on the same team. Like, they're all together. And then I feel like Jet Jeff, Trey Howard, Astro, Keyshawn, I feel like they're all kind of on the same team together. It's divided. You can tell that that's the case for sure. But yeah, outside of that, I don't really have much. What were your thoughts on Robert Ray from this reunion?
Kind of doing the most as usual. He had that fan. I was like, he should have had a Chinese fan.
Yes, with a Chinese bang.
I don't know, a bald head with a Chinese bang.
Yes.
A bald head with a Chinese bang.
I'm here for it.
Living.
For sure. Robert explained on TTB that Trey has a show persona and a real persona, and he doesn't like his show persona. I mean, he is messy, so that's what I was kind of saying. Like, maybe it's just the fact that he's messy, but yeah, I don't know. I could see that then if that's the case. Robert is the same on and off camera. Trey puts it on and off. Robert is not used to it, and that's his issue with Trey. Okay. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of common. Like, even with like other reality shows, like Real Housewives, like I don't feel like Nene and Kenya and like all of them are like the same on camera as they are off camera. But I mean, it is what it is. I can see how people would see, how I can see how somebody could see that as fake and irritating. Honestly, especially if you're the bone carrier.
Yeah, Robert Ray wasn't like the same person last season that he was like this season. So kind of be like him saying Trey, he doesn't vibe with like, so like, I mean, we know Trey is messy, so like Robert Ray being so chill and just laid back last season, and him being upfront and catty this season is kind of like, which person is like the real Robert Ray? Which Robert Ray are you trying to get?
I'm also thinking, hasn't Trey been messy? Like, he's been messy since he's been on the show. So I'm like, I wonder why now it's irritating Robert Ray and not last season. Like, maybe because
Reese being like the bone carrier, Reese being as messy as he was, I think Reese carrying the bone kind of overshadowed Trey's bone carrying. So now that Reese is gone,
he was baby bone carrying.
Yeah. Now that Reese is gone, Trey is carrying the big bone now. So
okay. Big bone take little bone. Okay. Bone carrying, baby. I'm sorry. What were you were saying?
Oh no, just I'm Robert Ray. Like, I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, him being so catty and just kind of nasty. Like even like aside from Trey, he was kind of shady towards like Jeff and like Keyshawn. So I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like
I think it's
Robert
definitely
catty this
side.
day, or is he not gonna be catty like? No shade. Is he catty when he's applying the press-ons, or is he, catty when he's in the barbershop getting a fade? Like, no shade. Just let me know.
I'm dead. Yeah, he was definitely giving catty. I don't know, but I mean, I'm not mad at it because we do get more personality from him, so I can,
I don't think he was born last season though. I feel like he was the
uh,
key of last season. He was just
I
kind
could see
of,
that.
I won't say there, but I
He was
mean,
very chill.
yeah, he was low key. I keep thinking about when Premier shredded Reese hit that damn lemon squeeze, and just Robert was just gagged. Like
He was gagged.
but
Everybody at
now
the
I'm
table
thinking
was pretty
like
gagged.
if they had a lemon squeeze this season, Robert probably would have been like the Premier.
He would have flipped that table, baby. They should do that again. I don't know why they didn't do that this season. They should have definitely had like a lemon squeeze with CBD, not THC, as we've said before. THC would have had their asses wilding. Actually, it probably would have had their ass hugging each other on the floor or some weird shit
Kumbaya,
or something.
yes.
Yeah.
Somebody said Trey was on the floor like a damsel in distress.
In that pink top. I'm here for it. He should have been rolling around on the floor. Like,
oh my gosh.
just don't know what's going on. And in his own home. Shout out to Ari Lennox.
Feeling psychotic. Come through, Ari Lennox. I'm sorry, we're rabbit hole.
Yes, but to highlight Denise Luck's comment, not to defend his bullying, but I kind of feel sorry for men like Robert. The idea of having to act masculine in front of cis het people to be taken seriously seems so exhausting. Yeah, I could see that. And then I feel like Robert is the type that is like mainly masculine presenting, right? But he has his little, like everybody has their little mannerisms. But I feel like because like when men present themselves like that, mostly, and then they have their little mannerisms, I noticed that people like to like poke fun at them. Like, oh, you're just as feminine as the rest of us. And like, what's wrong with that? Like, I feel like everybody has varying degrees of masculinity and femininity. But I feel like they don't care about the femme girls because like you're femme anyway. Like you're you're feminine anyway or flamboyant anyway. But the more masculine dudes, when they like get into their comfortability, it's like shade or whatever. But I could definitely see that for sure. Did Kiki and Robert Pete game because they both got the fuck up out that crew line when they saw them homophobes confronted her in the bathroom. No, I was like, this is a lot.
Oh.
Like, not at the
That's
crew
not
line.
funny, but that shit is crazy.
Crew Lounge needs to put out a statement because I wouldn't go there knowing that happened. Like, I would have to put out a statement like, we do not condone any homophobia. Yeah,
remember last season they was talking about burning some building down. They should have came back to Crew Lounge this season.
That was Ariel, baby. Like, about to set shit on fire. I said, whoa, let's not get arrested for arson. Like, this is not, Ebby said, you right, Nene was lovely when I met her at the Lenithia Lounge. Yes. I mean, I feel like being able to turn it on and off, because I feel like you can't be that way in your everyday life. You can't rude and bitchy and catty all the time in your everyday life. Like, that's just gonna create issues, but when the camera's on, you might put a little extra on. Some people might say that's fake, some people might say that's just making TV. Who am I to judge?
It's a check.
It's a check. It's a check to allegedly get your teeth done. No shade. As one of the reads, as somebody said during the reunion, it's common, but they are actually friends and family, so it's probably the difference since expect them to have an actual bond. Yeah. I mean, how close are Trey and Robert though? That's what I'm wondering. Because if they're real cool, and then like when we're on camera, you're like being weird and shady, then I could understand where Robert's coming from. But yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they might be close because I mean Dior and Robert are really cool, and then of course Dior is Trey's father, gay father. So I don't know. They come to Jesus meeting with Oliver was supposed to be the lemon squeeze. Oh, there come to Jesus. Yes, was supposed to be. Well, it went left for having Oliver hosting.
Right?
No shade.
On the season ain't got nothing to do with him. Like,
Meanwhile, getting ate up on his own franchise came here to rush it. I'm like,
right?
that's pretty weird, but okay.
My goodness, baby, I'm ready to see the
Like,
big dog on my television screen again.
right, the big dog. You came to beef with me, the big dog.
And 5 minutes later, was crying. I cannot.
And then before that, he said he was a princess. So I'm like, are you a big dog or a
Right.
princess?
Yeah, Terry went through a range of emotions in like 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. It was so manic. I was like, what's in that wine? Right? No shade. What's in that wine? Because everybody's acting crazy. Like, everybody is. Ooh. But but Magic User said that damn lemon squeeze was the best episode. They ate Reese up at Thanksgiving.
They ate Reese fuck up.
And he just sat there like,
and I think somebody said like when somebody's speaking the truth, speaking facts, you can't argue.
You can't say nothing. You just gotta sit there.
Yeah, they ate Reese up. And I'm like, damn, you can't rebut nothing that they said. Like
Premier he pulled out that phone with the notes app. I said, "Ooh."
And Carrie D was all in the phone, just
right. Like
poor Reese.
Poor Reese.
They shredded the fuck out of Reese.
Shredded him.
But yeah, they should do another lemon squeeze in the future. Chasing LA should do a lemon squeeze because that cast is nothing but the funk from the time they start filming up until like the season is wrapped.
True. True. They're getting better. No transphobia and drug allegations, as far as I remember from last season. So they getting better,
Okay.
So Denise Fleck said, are y'all watching Oliver's show? I might give it a watch. I don't know if we're gonna review it because we already be struggling, baby. So I don't know if we gonna be able to review it. But we might do a season wrap up, maybe if I like it. I'm gonna watch the first episode for sure.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Because I like to support. But especially when people get their own spinoffs. But I think that was everybody. Who are we missing? Dior. Dior. I mean, Dior didn't really say much. I mean, he didn't really say much this whole season, to be honest. Even when he was putting the drama, he seemed unbothered. So I don't know. They did talk about how he said he feels alone. And yeah, like I feel like like it really does take a village. Like you can't really live life on your own. I mean, you can, but it's really hard to go through shit on your own. Like you have to like find somebody that will support you and listen to you, because if you don't, you're just gonna bottle that up and that's gonna be toxic. So I really hope that like he finds somebody to have like comfort in, because I'm sure that's a bad feeling to be doing stuff for other people and then when it's your turn, nobody's around, But I think it also goes back to that whole idea of like people think that you're good because you seem like you always have it together. But then, of course, how can a person have everything together? So at all times. So I feel like, maybe that was a good time for like everybody to realize that like the people that are cool with Dior need to check on Dior. But yeah, that was pretty much everything that they talked about with him. I don't really remember anything else, to be honest. His facial expressions were key. I remember that. That was funny. But yeah, I didn't really know much about. He didn't really, talk or anything. At the reunion, I'll be watching Chasing LA, but they better not be bringing Bucky back. Becky Bug, wow, bang, yes. In that money suit. I was like, how many times you gonna wear this money suit?
Right.
Like, I still live for that scene with him and who was it? Who was it? Sydney Starr. Like, I'm so clumsy. I'm known for falling or messing somebody's career up. I was like, girl, what? Not messing somebody's career up.
You dare ruin Chingy's career.
Poor Chingy. Poor Chingy. My goodness. I said, well, you ain't lying. But yeah,
I wonder if Sydney Star Sarah chick running around the city of LA chasing Natalie Nunn to be a part of the next season of Baddies. Because you know she's
probably,
stalking Natalie for a whole year. So she
probably.
could be on Baddies West.
I said, is it that serious? You want to be a part of that toxic shit anyway? Like, no. Anything for clout, I guess. But
Ain't that what they say? They do anything for clout?
yes, anything for clout. But yeah, this has been our review of part one of the reunion of Chasing Dallas season 4. Thank you to everybody that's here, that stopped by, that commented, that liked the live, that will watch the playback. We'll definitely try to be here next Saturday to discuss the foolishness of part 2. But yeah, thank you for everybody that stopped by. I enjoyed the part 1 for what it was. I feel like once you know what things are, you can enjoy it more. So I think that's what I did. But yeah, we're gonna let y'all enjoy y'all Saturday night. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy your Saturday. It's getting warm. So, definitely it's definitely be out and about in these streets.
And stay safe.
Like,
Stay
and stay
safe.
safe. And stay safe. Yes, definitely important. But yes, thank you for everybody that came through. This has been Key and Carry, where we key
And we carry.
I've been Damon.
I am Troy.
And we will see y'all in the next one. Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good
Peace.
night. Peace.